Right now, Mazda is quietly preparing to launch the most powerful and game-changing vehicle in its history. While the rest of the auto world scrambles to electrify, one company is asking a different question. What if the future isn't fully electric? What if we've been chasing the wrong solution? Mazda's CEO thinks they found a better path, and according to insiders, what's coming next could change everything. In their private research and development labs, Mazda engineers have been developing something that doesn't just improve on what came before, it completely changes it. Not just a new hybrid system, not just better mileage, but an engine that might finally break the deadlock between performance, efficiency, and environmental responsibility. It's bold, it's technical, it's risky, but it might just work. And if it does, it could flip the entire EV industry on its head. The highlight is the Skyactiv X engine, a bold attempt to merge gasoline and diesel combustion techniques using spark-controlled compression ignition. It was one of the most advanced gasoline engines ever made, offering better fuel economy, cleaner emissions, and still maintaining a responsive driving feel, but it wasn't perfect. Real-world gains weren't dramatic enough. It was complex to build and tricky to service, and even though it was an engineering triumph, it didn't revolutionize the industry as much as Mazda hoped, but it laid the foundation for something that might. Of course, Mazda wasn't alone in this search. The entire industry has been chasing the ultimate engine. Hydrogen combustion is too hard to store, has no infrastructure, and still emits nitrogen oxides. Free-valve engines, like Koenigsegg's, are brilliant, truly, but very expensive with too many moving parts and too much complexity for mass-market vehicles. Variable compression turbo engines, like Nissan's VC Turbo, are great in theory, changing compression on the fly for better performance and efficiency. But again, the mechanical complexity adds to an already delicate system, something undesirable for longevity. Even Porsche's synthetic e-fuels sound great, carbon-neutral gasoline alternatives, but production costs are still 10 times that of regular fuel. All of these technologies were exciting, but none of them scaled. That's the brutal truth. Breakthroughs in labs don't always work in the real world. They're too costly, too fragile, or too incompatible with existing systems, and that's where Mazda might have finally found an engine to break through. The breakthrough is called the Skyactiv Z engine. This engine, set to debut in 2027, might be the most important innovation in decades. It's a next-generation four-cylinder hybrid powertrain designed to meet and exceed the world's toughest emission regulations. Euro 7 in Europe, LEV4, and Tier 4 in the United States. This engine doesn't just build on Skyactiv X, it refines it internally, and Mazda claims that it's very close to the ultimate combustion engine. And that's not marketing fluff. It's based on an entirely re-engineered combustion cycle, upgraded thermal management systems, and hybrid integration developed completely in-house. Mazda plans to offer this engine in mild hybrid, full hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and even range-extended EV formats. This flexibility means it can adapt to different marketplaces, price points, and regulations, all while maintaining Mazda's performance DNA. So, what's the first car to get it? The new CX-5, and it won't break your wallet either. Mazda wants these vehicles to be affordable, practical, and serviceable, unlike most current EVs, which come with high upfront costs and battery replacement concerns. But, here's where it gets interesting. Insiders claim Mazda's CEO is so confident in this engine's potential that he's been heard saying, "Our new hybrid engine will destroy the entire EV industry." Now, let's unpack why that bold claim might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Mazda isn't trying to ignore EVs, they're just not buying into the hype wholesale. The Skyactiv Z is their response to a global auto industry they feel is too quick to chase trends without solving core problems. Consumers still care about affordability, longevity, and the ability to just fill up a car and go anywhere, anytime. None of these can be fully achieved through EVs. That's why Mazda's bet that people want options, not mandates, makes sense. By focusing on hybrid systems that don't require massive battery packs or billion-dollar charging infrastructure, Mazda's giving drivers a bridge to the future, a way to reduce emissions, improve efficiency, and still enjoy the driving experience they know. And importantly, they're doing it without passing the burden on to consumers, because let's be honest, the average driver doesn't want a car that forces them to redesign their lifestyle around it. They want something that just works, and works well. So, The real and pivotal question that emerges from this ambitious undertaking is, can Mazda truly pull this off, transforming a bold vision into a commercially successful and technologically sound reality that resonates with a global audience? And will this new engine strategy actually destroy EVs, rendering them obsolete in the face of a superior alternative? No. Let's get real and ground this discussion in a pragmatic assessment of the current automotive landscape. The EV industry, with its immense momentum and trillions of dollars in global investment, isn't simply going away, vanishing because of a single new engine from a single manufacturer. Tesla, as a pioneering and dominant force, isn't collapsing. Its vast supercharger network and brand loyalty provide a formidable foundation. Furthermore, the relentless march of battery technology continues on an unwavering and seemingly inevitable trajectory of improvement, promising with each passing year greater energy density that extends driving range, faster charging capabilities that chip away at refueling times, and steadily lower costs that aim to make electric vehicles more accessible to a broader market. In parallel, the critical infrastructure of charging networks, though currently imperfect and inconsistent in its global rollout, will inevitably expand and mature, gradually becoming more robust, more reliable, and more accessible to urban and rural drivers alike. However, the crucial and defining nuance of the entire situation, the strategic bet that Mazda is placing for its own survival and relevance, is the understanding that it doesn't have to destroy EVs outright to win this monumental race for the future of transportation, nor does it need to secure a total victory over Tesla or other electric pioneers to guarantee a prosperous and influential future for itself. Instead, their path to success is far more nuanced and honestly, arguably more achievable. They just have to succeed in the critical mission of offering a compelling, rational, and deeply appealing alternative to a significant and valuable segment of the car-buying public. This alternative must be a practical, real-world solution that demonstrably solves more everyday problems for the average driver than it creates, directly addressing the persistent and often unspoken anxieties surrounding total cost of ownership, the genuine limitations of existing infrastructure, and the pure, unadulterated joy of driving that many fear is being engineered out of the modern automobile. And that is precisely the transformative potential that the Skyactiv Z, in its deeply sophisticated and remarkably flexible hybrid philosophy, could ultimately represent for millions of motorists around the world who feel caught between the demands of environmental progress and the realities of their daily lives. It is envisioned not as a reluctant compromise that forces drivers to give up what they fundamentally love about the visceral experience of cars, the responsive growl of a well-tuned engine, the mechanical connection to the road, and the freedom of long-distance travel unburdened by charging logistics. Nor is it positioned as a timid half-step on the seemingly preordained path to an uncertain and mandated all-electric future, a hesitant move made while waiting for a battery technology revolution that is perpetually a few years away. Instead, Mazda positions the Skyactiv Z as a genuinely smarter, more accessible, and immediately practical route. A third path that offers a tangible way to achieve a more sustainable footprint without sacrificing the simultaneous pursuit of a more enjoyable and engaging driving life. It is engineered to be a bridge that doesn't feel like a detour, leveraging existing infrastructure while seamlessly integrating electric power for urban efficiency. In doing so, it aims to prove a powerful and necessary point to the entire automotive industry and to policymakers that the road to a greener automotive tomorrow may very well have more than one lane, that a diversity of technological solutions can and should coexist to meet the vastly different needs of a global population, and that genuine consumer choice, not top-down coercion or a single-minded technological mandate, is the ultimate expression of a truly healthy, competitive, and genuinely innovative market. This philosophy champions a future where progress is measured not just by the absence of a tailpipe, but by the presence of practicality, pleasure, and inclusive accessibility for all.